You little. You dare call my teachings and methods lies? Themis Legal Academy is a proud institution. It's the most powerful in the world. You never forget what true education and lawyer means. What's up to it do? Huh? Professor means? It's just your hair. Quiet! No talking in class! Ow! Eyes and ears up here, everyone. Homeroom is now in session. We begin with roll call. Athena Sykes. Huh? Oh, here. Apollo Justice. I'm fine. I mean here. Fool. The proper response is here without any extra information. Ouch! I mean, here. Next, Your Honor. Here. See, class. That's the proper way to answer. Simon Blackwell. I said Simon Blackwell. Are you here or not? There is one, isn't there? Well, then I'll just mark you absent. Now get out of my class this instant! Get out. Very well, if that is your wish. Who am I to define my homeroom teacher? Is that such a good idea? Prosecutor Blackwell is free of his shackles! This happens, I was a member of my high school's disciplinary committee! But is that really so shocking? Conspiracy lapdog to teacher's pet. What a malleable mutt you all, fool white. Very good, Bobby. You just earned a gold star and a promotion to head disciplinarian. Alright, class is now in session. Why do I have the sudden observation nurse's office with a stomachache? Pay attention. I am not the killer Juniper is. Just be on the next test. You'd better be listening.
Objection!
But Professor, you created the phony tape to pin the blame on Juniper. Plus, you were the only one who could have moved the body during the mock trial. Objection. Athena, you didn't want yourself to think you would label me a murderer. Now pay attention. The murderer occurred on the 23rd between 6 and 8 p.m. I was already at home by that time, so how could I have been involved in this crime?
Objection!
First means, can you really prove you had already gone home by that time? Objection! Can you prove that I was still at school? No, I can't. Extra credit for your honesty. You have also earned yourself laboratory cleaning duties until you graduate. Woo! I do enough of that at the office. Objection! No way, man! I totally object! Robin? You give me life out for the professor's silver tongue lies. Why you? How dare you talk about your teacher like that? I'm not listening to you anymore, man! No way, no how! Now, I have a confession to make. You notice you said you were on stage? I didn't make them all by myself. The statue's on stage. I don't know where this is headed. I was able to finish one of them, but the last bell went before I had time for the other one. So I asked the person means to make it for me. In other words, the professor was there on the stage after the last bell. Wait, it had been way past 7 p.m. before he could have finished. Professor Beans was still at school. This is incredibly important testimony. The professor told me I'll take care of it. I thought my parents would let me be an artist if I said I'd make both statues myself. I'm so sorry for not telling the truth. Robin. Junction. Quick, somebody get this juvenile delinquent out of my sight. Simon, you're head honcho among the delinquents. Do something. Who's in charge of the class pet around here? Not interested. If you want a class in swordsmanship, I'm your man. Of course, only real blades will do. No swords at school. All weapons will be confiscated. Nurse, where's the school nurse when you need one? Seems like Zona seeks us so down, Professor. In which case, you do well to draw your staff quick as lightning. Very well. Then I will just have to prove my innocence myself. The real lessons begin in second period. Prepare to be solved old school style. What does that... Oh, never mind. Your testimony, please. Now pay attention. Robin took over half a day to complete one statue. I have unfinished most of the other statue between 7 and 8:30 p.m. Defendant Juniper saw the two statues of her own eyes at 8:30 p.m. Putting the statue so quickly means I could not leave the stage for a single second. How could I have possibly had the time to go to your room and commit murder? You're saying the defendant saw the finished statues. Precisely. She said so herself at the detention center yesterday. The defense team was there and heard her say so too. Don't try to deny it now. That evening, I went back to my dressing room to get something I'd forgotten there. It was well after the last bell rang. I'd say maybe around 8:30. That's when I noticed that both stage statues were finished. They were quite large, and they were each covered with a white seat, but I could tell. Alright, Professor was there when that matter came up. Before I address the professor's charges, I have a question for Robin. How hard would it be to complete a statue like that in 1.5 hours? It would probably take me at least twice as long. So personally, I think it would be incredibly difficult to finish it in that short a time. That didn't exactly help our case. But he won't get off that easy. He's bound to stumble over his own slippery means. Now, pay attention. Robin took over half a day to complete one statue. I, however, finished most of the other statue between 7 and 8:30 p.m. The defendant Juniper saw the two statues of her own eyes at 8:30 p.m. Completing the statue so quickly meant I could not leave the stage for a single second.
Hold it!
Why were you in such a hurry? Objection! War, your body is your capital. The only bird gets the war. That's why I get to bed at 9 p.m. each and every night. I was working as fast as I could. I didn't want to miss my bedtime. Wait, you can see that I never left left the stage? Well, Miss Sykes, you accept the witness's claim. I've tried everything, but I still can't prove anything. I guess I concede. I couldn't hear you. Say it louder this time. I concede that Professor Means never left the stage. That's right. What took you so long? I was there the entire time. I couldn't possibly have committed that crime. I'm not gonna give up here. I'm afraid I have to side with the witness, Miss Sykes. Unless you have any further objections, I have to put this issue to rest.
Objection!
Not yet. The defense still has an objection. Athena, you thought of something. Well, as I said, not yet. Ow. So it's time for legal smoke and mirrors. Not yet, Athena. It's not time to quit. It's at times like these when it seems like there's no way out that you have to. Yeah, I have to turn the case upside down. Instead of focusing on whether Professor Means could have gone to the art room, I should focus on how he could commit murder without going there. It seems our young lady has a real bona fide idea. But I'll use any means necessary, even catching stones, if it would distract her. Let the butt to school! Sex Donna, if I hear one more word of your usual jibber jabber, I shall have your head. The murder, according to the art room, yet the witness was on stage. How do you propose to fill the vast gap between these two key facts? I accept the premise that the professor was on the stage the entire time. The only other answer is that we got something else wrong. Wait, that's it! The last one of us made a huge mistake. We're totally wrong about the... Professor Means was on the stage the entire time. Then he must be the killer. Objection! Ridiculous! The defense has become utterly incoherent.
Objection!
No, it says the murder wasn't committed where we thought it was. Continue, Sex Donna. Okay, the murder was actually committed here.
Take that!
The greatest riddle of this case has been how the body was moved from the art room. If the murder occurred on the stage, that means the body was never moved at all. Objection! Silly girl. When the body was found, there wasn't a drop of blood on the stage floor. Surely there would have been some blood if that's where the murder was committed. There wasn't any blood on the stage? Really? But there was something on stage at the time of the murder that's now blood-stained.
Take that!
It's true. There was no bloodstains on the stage floor. But there was something on the stage that did have a blood stain. And that would be this school banner. No blood would have gone on the floor if this were under the victim when she was killed. Oh my, that's quite a compelling theory.
Silence!
What is it now? My theory makes perfect sense. That was a pathetic attempt. You must put every inch of your body into your attacks. The autopsy states the cause of death was loss of blood. Yet only a trace amount was found upon that banner. Where did the rest go? Blood getting on there when the body was moved by wire. Makes more sense than not. Very good, Simon. Tell me what's your first choice for higher education. I'll write you the ultimate in recommendation letters. You're but guaranteed to get in.
Objection!
Actually, the defense has something to explain that as well. You do? There was only a trace amount of blood on the school banner. There must have been something else the killer used to soak up the blood. All I have to do is figure out what. This is what sucked up most of the victim's blood.
Take that!
Right. Looks like there's some other piece of fabric on top of the school banner. It's the Gavineer's banner that had been specifically made for the school concert. Since it's on top of the school banner, the blood would have hit it first. It could have easily absorbed most of the blood like a dishcloth. And only a small amount would have soaked through to the school banner below. So it makes no sense for the school banner to only have a little blood on it. So that banner absorbed the blood like a dishcloth. Yes, that would explain it. The Gavineer's banner was like a dishcloth. Surely it was at least towel quality. Objection! Simon, just stand there. Do something!
Silence!
Psych's gone up. You're learning to wield a blade quite well. But how will you respond when I come slashing at you like this? The remnant of a large blood stain was detected in the archway. Why would there be blood there if the murder occurred on the stage of the flame?
Objection!
The blood stain in the art room was faked. How? I'll tell you how. All that was in it was something that could transport the blood upstairs. And that something was a piece of evidence we just finished discussing. The killer used this to bring the victim's body up to the art room.
Take that!
To think you two solo to present me your garbage to this court. It's only garbage because someone tried to destroy it by tossing it into the incinerator. That someone was most likely the killer seeking to get rid of crucial evidence. The killer used a wire to bring the blood-soaked Gavineer's banner to the archway. Then the blood was wiped onto the floor to complete the ruse. It makes perfect sense. Ah! Order, order! This is quite a development. To think the body was never actually moved. Objection! That order right there. The body must have been moved. How was to explain that loud crash you heard during the mock trial? But it wasn't caused by the body crashing into the statue, then what was it? I hadn't thought of that. That loud crash was the body hitting the statues. What was it indeed? The school banner showed that something was carried along the wire in it. So if that's true, I know what I have to find. Something that was in the art room before the murder, and then on the stage after. The object that was sent down the wire to crash into the statue was...
Take that!
That statue? Yes, I believe it was this statue that broke the other two, not Professor Court's body. The unique statue you see on the right, that's the pure white Lady Justice from earlier. Professor Court accidentally broke it as he was pausing it the day before the mock trial. But she used her own unique artistic sense and technique to repair it, as you see here. Nobody would have guessed that it was originally Lady Justice.
Silence!
Perhaps you are onto something. But why, pray tell, would anyone move that scrappy relic in such a tedious manner? Excellent question, Simon. Keep them coming. You know why? The fact that you won't acknowledge it shows how twisted you are. Lady Justice was moved during the mock trial. During that time, Professor Means was fabricating an alibi with his pre-recorded speech. We consider the facts that Lady Justice was moved in order to... Professor Means used his pre-recorded speech to fake an alibi during the mock trial. He wanted to make it look like he couldn't possibly have moved the body. Moving Lady Justice was his way of pointing us to the body and cementing his alibi. That's quite a persuasive argument. For a while now, I thought you weren't taking the trial seriously. Well done! Objection! You should never underestimate me, Athena Sykes. Professor Means always means what he says and says what he means, by all means. Fine then. Say it already. I'm waiting. The murder occurred the night before, but the body wasn't found until late the next day. Countless students passed the stage, so they met in the lecture hall for the mock trial. So answer me this. Why didn't anyone see the body that entire time? That can be explained by... Ah! The victim was murdered on the stage and left there. The body would inevitably have been discovered. And of course, there was nowhere to hide a body upon that stage. This is not good, Athena. Our claim is this close to being beaten to a pulp. I know. We've come so far. Consider yourself schooled. I couldn't have possibly killed anyone. The killer is none other than Juniper Woods. It always has been and it always will be. Just wait a minute. Oh, Juniper, should my sister regret having asked you to defend her? And to add insult to injury, you nearly had Hugh convicted for the murder. Surely you haven't forgotten that little fiasco. Not only did you fail to defend your client, you have also raised false charges against her friend. You have no right to call yourself a lawyer. This trial proceeds in the same manner and ends in the same way as the mock trial. Would you not lose everything you've worked so hard to gain? Well, I just have to make sure that doesn't happen then, won't I? Don't tell me I failed once again. Failed to save someone dear to me. I've worked so hard to become a lawyer and even study psychology. Has it all been for naught? Am I just doomed to relive that all over again? Athena, what's wrong? Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, relax, Athena, breathe. It's not working. Everything's going dark. After all I've done, this is how it ends. Forgive me, Jimmy. I couldn't protect you like I said I would. Objection! You leave Athena alone, man! She's the one who saved me! It was because of Athena that I could stop hiding and start living my life as a girl again. And she saved the friendship between Hugh, Juniper, and me. And I think you're an awesome lawyer, Athena. One of the best. But I raised false charges against Hugh. And that's not all. I've done some seriously unforgivable things. Objection. What's the big deal? False charges are nothing to be scared of. And I'm not even mad at you. I should really be thanking you. You used legitimate means to expose my wrongdoings and give me a chance to re-examine what's important. But What does it matter if I can't save Juniper? I mean, the whole reason I've come so far is... Protection! It's not over yet, Athena. Even now, at this very moment, I still believe in you. Junie? I know you better than most people, Athena. I know you never saw into the dark age of the law like the professor did. Thank you, Junie. I feel like I can barely breathe. I don't know what to do.
Silence!
Stop your bleating this instant. You look another fool. Prosecutor Blackwell? There is one who awaits you, is there not? And that is the reason you have studied so very hard. Are you prepared to give up on all you have worked for thus far? It would not do to have you disappoint you-know-who. Objection. You're wasting your time. You have nothing on me. No evidence or anything else except as my guilt. You are helpless before the might of lawyers who, for whom the ends justify the means.
Objection!
Don't worry, Athena. You're doing fine. The truth will always win against people like him. But Apollo, what am I supposed to do now? Listen, all you have to do is take a deep breath and look back over the entire case. There's truth to be found, and there always is. You're sure to find it. Now let me see you smile. Remember what Mr. White said? The worst of times are when lawyers have to force their biggest smiles. Thanks, everyone. You don't have to worry about me now. The worst of times are when lawyers have to force their biggest smiles. Athena Sykes is psyched and ready to walk. Prepare for your utter defeat. Professor Colt wasn't killed in the art room. She was killed right where her body was found. We know because there wasn't any attempt to move the body there from somewhere else. It means the body had to have been hidden somewhere on stage until it was found. Let's think along the lines and see where it takes us. First up, when the professor needs to move the body from its hiding place. Let's see, what was he doing right before the body was discovered? He was using the span of time his fake alibi created. Move the body to where it would be more easy to spot. Therefore, the only time Professor Reach could remove the body from its hiding place is... It was during the mock trial. Specifically... It's an easily seen location during his long pre-recorded speech. Professor also needs something to say that was never more specifically. During the mock trial, Professor Means wrapped the White Lady Justice in the school banner and sent it zipping down to the stage of a crash, killing two birds with one stone. You ejected to the body and made it look like the murder occurred in the art room. Was there anywhere to hide a body on that stage? Doesn't seem likely. No. There had to be someplace. Wait a second. How about something that should have been finished but was only mostly done? Something was used to cover the body up. It did for a unique intent because it looked like it belonged there on stage. And that way, no one would suspect there was a body hidden inside. No way on stage to conceal a body. Now I know. The Mr. White statue was never actually finished. body was wrapped under some cloth to hide what was really inside, clearly distinguishing it as the boss's statue. Miss Newman gave up on the white statue. It Professor Means finished it in a single night. Yes, what an impressive feat that was.
Objection!
Now, his so-called work of art deserves none of our praise. That's because it was only a facade to hide his real work. The murder of Professor Court. Come again? I'm afraid I don't follow. He hid the body by making it look like the statue of Mr. White. With the body wrapped in a piece of cloth, it looked just like a statue. What? I second that. What? Now this is getting interesting. Objection. No, this is getting preposterous. How would such a thing even be possible?
Objection!
You never know until we try. Uh-oh. I think I know where this is going. Okay, Apollo. Time to turn me into a reasonable likeness of Mr. White. I'm going to pose like the statue, like so. And now I want you to wrap me up in a cloth so that I look like a statue. I hate to ask the obvious, but where am I supposed to get this magical cloth? I'm afraid that isn't the right color, Mr. Justice. Well, given how sudden the request was, it's kind of the best I could do, Your Honor. Alright, I think that about does it. Well, what do you think, everyone? Do I look like just like a statue of Mr. White or what? It's another person to me. The statue is a pair of busts. Mr. White has that striking hair on the back of his head. Get the hair! The statue's head is way bigger than your average person's anyway. Got a hand for you for trying anyway. Wait, that's it! The hands! Her arms are raised over her head, and there's a dark bruises around her wrists. Yeah, the professor was probably tied up with something. The marks on her wrist indicate she's been tied up. Apollo, tie me up in a new pose. Wait, you're not into this kind of thing, are you? What? No! Besides, it was your idea! Just tell me how you want me to tie your hands already. Mr. Court's wrists were tied together. I can't help but think that's related. So I wait myself so much to see if I want, even though her hands were tied. Apollo, tie both my hands behind my head. See? This makes it possible to fake the spikes on the back of Mr. White's head. So, but then what about the statue's arm? Both arms behind your head, you can't exactly complete the pose. Yeah, it would be awfully hard to make the objection pose like this. I can't thinking you're forgetting something, Athena. Something on the body that you don't have right now. What does the victim's body have that I don't?
Take that!
Wait! There was an arrow sticking out of her side. Okay, Apollo, take that and plunge it into my side. Are you crazy? Fine, then go get some duct tape. Schnitzel. Alright, I don't need to know other languages to know bossy when I hear it. The fatal arrow to the side. Spiky had cleared from 2 hands. A masterpiece in the making. Now cover me up with the cloth. Remember to make the arrows stand out, okay? Mommy, your arms too short. Shh, remember your indoor voice, dear. Nobody's buying it. The arrow's nowhere near long enough. But what could you use for that arm? Still won't give up, hmm? I must commend you, if only for your spirit and determination. Of course he's not giving up. After all he's put me through, he owes me an explanation, and one that makes sense. Now, disappoint me again, and the penalty will be doubly painful. I guess I better get it right this time. Think, Athena, think! Professor Cook was murdered and was stopped by the stage to see Professor Means. If it wasn't premeditated, he must have used something close at hand in his little ruse. Apollo, send me those stage setup photos again. Like that? Right now? Okay, hold on. Please be in this photo. This has to be. I want Mr. Right said to use really this right here.
Take that!
Got it. I know what he used for the arm on the statue of Mr. White. That's absurd. There's no such thing in this photo. Don't play dumb with me, Professor. It's a staff you have right there. Staff? This is the spear of a great legal warrior. Whatever. Just hurry up and lend it to me. Like this, perfect. Mr. White couldn't possibly object to such an awesome arm. Okay, go for it, Apollo. Sure, I'll give your arm a hand. Cloth and binding coming right up.
Objection!
It's Phoenix Wright. Look, it's that famous lawyer. That's definitely him. I know that pose anywhere. We did it. Didn't we? Well, am I not the spinning image of the legendary Phoenix Wright? The man who will bring us out of those dark ages into an era of brilliant golden light. Golden light? Oh, I see before me. Is the pink spectacle of a man. That's just because Mr. White likes his statue. He's positively tickled pink. Get it, Apollo? He's tickled pink? That joke deserves a pink slap. It seems the gallery is quite impressive. The defense is sharp thinking. And the witness? The resemblance is never more than a coincidence.
Objection!
Not so fast there, Buster. Unfortunately for you, I can prove my theory to be more than mere coincidence. To prove that his spear was thrust into the victim, all I have to do is... We have assumed the victim's dagger wound came from the arrow being forcibly shoved in. If the wound was from his spear instead, then we should be able to detect traces of the victim's blood on it. Your Honor, brief recess, if you will. By any means possible, if I get rid of my spear, if I burn it. If I do that, I'll be found innocent. Yes, I'm innocent, I tell you.
Objection!
Surely you don't expect us to take lectures from you now. Now, I ask you in the gallery. Help me decide the professor's fate. Professor Blackwell, who has become of our witness, astral means. As the Saxona suspected, blood was detected on his staff. He has admitted to this heinous crime. All of it. He shall join us in the clink tomorrow. His teaching skills can be put to good use there. Great! He'll teach felons that the ends justify the means. So much for rehabilitation. Can I ask what the professor's motive was? I could barely make out a word he said on account of his shadowed teeth. One of Blackwell's fellow inmates was once a surgeon. Went out a former dentist, too. I eventually had him put pen to paper. Turns out Professor Means was the one taking bribes. The victim had suspected him after a report from the class snitch. That led her to question him at length the day of the killing. Right there on that stage. The result? A heinous crime that was brought before this court. The fool, like Newman, had come to know of the script's contents via the victim's note. It seems he came up with a plan to stab the victim with her own arm in order to make the killing look like the one in the script and thus frame the defendant. That scrap of paper with Hugh's name had the same mark as Professor Court's planner. Yes, about that. Those planners are bestowed upon all students graduating at the top of their class. Really? So then... Indeed. Once upon a time, Professor Means was also awarded the same notebook. The handwriting is being analyzed now, but like as not, the scrap belonged to him. This too was evidence of the bribery scream that the victim had obtained. Now that Constance Court was clean, and that only astral means took the bribes. To think a professor would murder a colleague, then try to pin it on a student. If this is the dark age of the law, then we can only hope that a brighter future awaits. And the first step is to hand down my verdict for a promising young lady. This court finds the defendant, Juniper Woods, not guilty. I wish you all the best on your road to becoming a courtroom judge. We will need young people like you if we ever hope to restore the law to its former glory. Yes, Your Honor. I'll work as hard as I can. Maybe one day I'll be able to work with all of you to make a difference. Proudly serve Professor Court's memory. Do not let her death be in vain. That's the last thing I expected to hear from him today. Court is adjourned. Thank you, Tina. I really mean it. It was nothing, really. I can take the biggest single mess of a case and unravel it just like that. I don't know. You look pretty wound up there at the end. Literally and figuratively. You look pretty hungry for a knuckle sandwich, Buster! I want to thank you too, Apollo. Don't mention it. The way you were always there for Tina when she was in a bind. At the detention center, where your smile gave me hope when there was none. Like the warm rays of the sun shining down on peaceful woodlands. I think you're an absolute amazing person. Thanks, Juniper. That means a lot to me. I still have lots of work to do. I can't wait until we see you on the judge's bench. I promise you I'll get there someday. That's why until that day... Ow. Ow. Guys, I got some big news! I mean, this is huge! Oh. Am I interrupting something? No, it's okay. I think. So what's the big news? The school festival! Was supposed to have been canceled after what happened, but... We just got a call. Remember Professor Constance Court, who worked so hard to make it happen. The festival is being extended one extra day until tomorrow. Really? Alright!
We've got a special treat for all of you. A love letter for Themis Legal Academy. Achtung, baby. It's time for the Guitar Serenade.
Wow, that was so much fun. School festivals are amazing. I think you and Robin are getting a little carried away. Your singing voice, Juniper. It could melt my H-E-A-R-T. Mr. White, thank you for that training seminar. Just remember, the objection pose is all about attitude. Oh, congrats on your mock trial win. Although Robin had you for a while there. I did, didn't I? I'm this guy, we're back to how we used to be. Thanks to Athena. And you know what? I think I'll stick with becoming a prosecutor after all. I'm going to make up for my mock trial loss by winning the real deals in court. Mock trial loss? What loss? Wait, did they praise the trial and you won? Level-headed lawyer, course genius, and hot-blooded prosecutor, course student. We'll go a head-to-head in a mock trial battle for the She-Devil's Black Heart. So, does this mean it's really gonna happen? Juniper, there's something I've been wanting to say to you. Huh? Oh, is he going to do what I think he is? Juniper, can we still be friends? You know, best friends like we've always been? Huh? Best friends? Would you going to confess your love for Juniper if you won that mock trial? No, I was going to confess that I'm not a genius and that I'm really 25 years old. We already dragged it out of me during the trial. Whoops! Listen, you too, Robin. Miriam? Me too. Miriam's got this technical Explopon's axe stuff down to a science. I've been thinking. It's up to us to put an end to the dark age of the law if we can. Let's all work together to usher in a new age where winning only results from the truth. And the end never justifies the means. Count me in! I wouldn't have it any other way. Best friends forever, huh? No matter what everyone says. Nothing beats true friendship. You bet! What about your BFF, Apollo? Aren't you a bit old for using that word? But yeah, he's the best friend a guy could have. Which reminds me, we're supposed to meet up and gossip about the new girl in the office. Hey, they're talking about me behind my back! So, what kind of guy is he anyway? Well, if I had to describe him in one word, and so, after some slight arm twisting, Apollo promised to bring me to meet his friend. Unfortunately, that promise was never meant to be fulfilled. For not long after, the friendship was mercilessly severed by fate. And the bonds between us began to fray and unravel as well. Sorry, but I'll be taking a leave of absence. Even now, those words continue to ring in my ears. The discord in our ever-cheerful Apollo's voice made him sound so cold and distant. Why, Apollo? Why? Why would you leave us all behind?